And so those are the 5 data types which are the fundamental. But when it comes to the rest of the 5 data types, we are calling it sequential. So from that one, the first one is the string data type, list data type, tuple data type, set data type, and dictionary data type. Okay, so I already completed the string data type full end to end. Okay, yeah. So now in this session, I would like to concentrate on the list data type only. Okay, so it might having some kind of features of the list, and also you can store different kind of data elements, and you can try to modify it, and we can do some kind of operations and on the list data type, and meanwhile we can do some kind of manipulations on the string with the help of some kind of built-in functions. So if you know these things, it could help you a lot, to easily handle any Python program in a simple manner. Okay, when you're working with the data, make sure that it might having some kind of built-in functions. Those functions, if you know it, by the time of doing any application or when you are implementing some program, so that concepts will help you. Okay, yep. So I already started the recording. I can share with the recordings of these sessions as well. And yep. Now I would like to open the, so for working with Python programming language, usually I can I'm using the Colab, Google Colab, so that it can help me, like you don't need to install any Python programs. Okay, you don't need to install any kind of Python programs in your laptop. Sorry, you don't need to install the Python software in your local computer, and the Python is providing the free tool for us, and we can able to go for use it. Okay, so in this session, as of now, I just explained that a string data type, and this is the concept, string manipulation methods, and each and everything I explained it. I think I just given us some question previously, right? Ahmad, Shalini, have you worked on that one? Raju, have you worked on it?
So I started with the strings, whatever examples you gave,
Okay.
but I'm yet to do the new one.
Yeah, these are the new. So plenty of functions are there. It's impossible to explain all the things, right? Okay, so I can explain you some more functions, and I just give some kind of assignment for you, and you can go ahead and practice and come up with some examples on those particular functions. Okay, if you don't know it, you could just Google it what exactly the function is doing, and it could be help you for some kind of a self-learning. Okay. Yes, now this session I would like to talk about list data type. So list data type. Okay, so coming to this particular list data type, what exactly the list? What exactly the list data type? And the list and tuple both are same. So I would like to go for explain both in at a time only. Okay, so that I can able to save much time. Okay, tuple data type. So here the list and tuple both are almost same, and we'll go for understanding one by one. Okay, so the first one is the list data type. So list data type, in the sense, it was a sequential data type, which means that it can be collected the some kind of elements, okay, in a square brackets. In a square brackets, if you're holding some kind of group of elements, that it could be the list data type. Okay, I have a variable var, and inside of the var you're holding some kind of list in the square brackets. Okay, within the square brackets we can hold integer type, and maybe you can try to be hold nothing. This is an empty list. What it is? It's empty list. How can you say that it's empty list? The list, it doesn't have any kind of elements, then it could be the empty list only. Okay, even though I want to find out the data type of this one, if you want to find the data type of any variable, we can use the predefined function, a type function. It was returning that data type of any one of the variable of this specific variable, and with the help of the print function we are displaying that. Okay, so it's empty list. The list, it doesn't have any elements, then it could be empty list only. Okay, now same thing I would like to go for implement the tuple data type. Is it possible to implement the tuple, empty tuple? Of course it is possible. Okay, in case of tuple data type, it was very similar to the list only, but we would like to go for holding the group of elements inside of the parenthesis. Okay, so here my variable, which is the nothing, which is not holding anything, it's just simply you're assigning that empty parenthesis. If it is empty parenthesis, then it could be empty tuple or tuple. People can call it as a pronouns like a tuple or tuple, anything is fine. Okay, so this is a small difference, the way we are holding the data and what the approach of holding the data. It could be a small difference. If it can be go ahead with the square brackets, it will be go ahead with the parenthesis, right? Now I have a variable and the name of the variable is var, and it would like to go for holding the similar data type elements. For example, integers, only integers it was trying to be holding it. Okay, and it was printing that data, and meanwhile I would like to go for print the data type. So here the list which is holding the similar data type of elements. Okay, so but here we are holding group of elements, right? So that we are calling it, say, sequential data type. So list is the sequential data type. Sequential data type. Sequential data type in the sense we are holding a group of elements. Okay, now same way the tuple also go ahead with the same thing. We are holding the data in parentheses. So with inside of the parenthesis, if you're holding a sequential data elements or different group of elements, it is possible actually. Okay, it is a parenthesis, it's just a list representation, square representation. Now I would like to go ahead with the heterogeneous data type. Heterogeneous data type. Heterogeneous data type in the sense, in a square bracket we can try to be holding different type of elements, like this is integer type, this is the float type, and 3 plus 4j, it could be the complex data type, and it was the none data type. We are holding somewhat a boolean data type. This is a way we can able to go for using the different type of elements, and we are holding the list inside of the list. Of course it is possible. Okay, so this is the way heterogeneous data type in the sense, within the square brackets, within the list data, within the list variable, we can hold the different type of elements that we are calling it, say, heterogeneous data type. So which is the same thing which is possible in parenthesis as well, that means tuple as well. Inside of the list we can hold the tuple also. Okay, so which is not giving any kind of error. In the meanwhile, inside of the tuple we can hold the list as well as tuple also. Okay, so here also it could be the tuple only, right? So the list, it may contains in the different type of elements, and it can be list, it can be tuple, it can be string. Okay, anything you can hold inside of the tuple as well as list. As of now, no difference. As of now, we see only difference the way we are representing, right? Any questions as of now what I explained here? Any questions? Whatever I explained as of now, is it any questions? Ahmad?
No questions.
Questions. It's good. Now accessing the elements. Okay, accessing the list and tuple elements. So I think these concepts you already know it. In case of string data type, we did these things with the 3 different ways. One is the indexing, right? Second one is the slicing. Okay, third one is the dicing. Okay, so dicing, indexing, slicing is, in case of indexing, the syntax is, it's a single square bracket, and we should providing the variable name, and here we should providing the index position. Okay, so which index location element I want access, you just give it out here. And coming to the slicing, we have the start index, we should mention the start index, and you should mentioning the stop index. From the start to stop -1, what are the elements are there we can access in case of string data type. Same, it was applicable in list as well as tuple also. Okay, now dicing in the sense we can able to go for accessing the list elements, tuple elements, same like a string elements. Okay, from start to stop, every step element we would like to go for access. in between the start to stop minus 1, what with the step indexing, with the stepwise we are going to be accessing the elements. Okay, so here by default the start it could be 0. By default the start it could be 0 if you are not mentioned. Okay, by default stop it could be length. Length means how many number of elements we have it inside of that particular list and tuple and string, same way actually. Okay, so but the same thing will happening in case of dicing. See guys, this is the thing I already explained in the string data type. Same thing it could be repeated here as well. Okay, but here the step is what is the by default, I mean default step value. The default step value it could be the 1. If you're not mentioning the step location, if you not mention any value, then it can be considering the 1. Okay, yep. Now let's have some examples on this particular data type. Okay, yes, go ahead with this one. So you can able to print that entire data and you can print the data type. I think this time I don't want to print the data type. You already know that the data type, right? So if I'm using the indexing where, and if I'm giving the 0, what could be the value? If I'm giving the var of 1, then what could be the value? Tell me.
1.
1. 1. 2.4.
2.4, then
3 plus 4j, none, true, soft, least, tuple.
6 and 7. Total we have 8 elements are there, right? So if we have 8 elements, this is the index position 0, this is index position is 1, this is index position is 2, this is index position is 3, and index position 4, and this is 5, string SOC, and list 1, 2, 3, and tuple 1, 2, 3, right? So which indexing is started with a 0 and it could be ends with length minus 1, right? So this is the positive indexing. What else if it is a negative indexing? So in case of string data type, negative indexing also supported, right? So what else negative indexing? Negative indexing which is started with what? Negative indexing which is
Minus 1.
minus 1.
Minus 1.
Yes, minus 1. Minus 1 means what? It's a tuple of 1, 2, 3. Minus 2 means list of 1, 2, 3. Minus 3 means string SOC. And minus 4 means true, boolean true. Minus 5 means, tell me, minus 5 means what?
None.
Minus 6 means 3 plus 4j. Minus 7 means 2.4. Minus 8 means it could be 1. So this is the way you can able to go for accessing the elements in a reverse order also. Clear? Yep. So these are the indexing. Positive elements and negative elements we can use it. Now, so slicing. So let's go for understanding. I think we can repeat the same thing. You just repeat the same thing. Okay, in case of tuple data type. In case of tuple data type, we just replace square brackets by the parenthesis, right? So if I'm using the tuple indexing, so which is also same, nothing difference. And if I go ahead with the negative indexing for tuple, which is also possible. As of now, no difference. As of now, no difference, right? Yep. Now let's go ahead with the slicing. When coming to the slicing, and so you should go for using the, I have a list or tuple, whatever it is. I have a, let me consider I have initially a list only. Okay, so I would like to go for using the start index and stop index, right? So where of the start index is, for example, 2 to 6, what are the elements we have it, that everything I want access. Okay, careful observe here, the resultant data type, it was the list format, so it was square brackets, right? The resultant data, it was in a list format. Okay, So for example, if you not mention my start index, by default it could be 0, which is starting with 0. And if you mentioning that start index, but if you not mention the statement, then it will be go for end of your list. So this is the way it will go for accessing the each and every this is the way we can able to go for accessing the sub elements. Okay, slicing. So in the same way, when I'm using the tuple, the resultant data type, it was the tuple format. This is the small difference we can observe here. Okay, here the resultant data type, it was the list, but here the resultant data type, it was the tuple. Clear? Now, so dicing, when it comes to the dicing, stepwise elements we can access. So every second element, that means so first index position is 1, and 1 plus 2 3, 3 plus 2 5, and the positions of 1 3 and 5, it can be accessible. Okay, when it comes to here, you are mentioning the 3 over here. Okay, so for example, the start index, it was 0. 0 plus 3, it was 3. 3 plus 3, it was 6, right? For example, but 6 we can't access. Only 0 position, 3 positions we can access. Okay. For example, you are not mentioned the stop index, which is started with 2, 2 plus 2, 4, and 4 plus 2, 6. So total we have the 8 elements are there. The indexing which is started with 0 to 7 only. So 2 plus 4 plus 6, the positions of 2, 4, 6 we can access. Clear? For example, if you are not mentioning the step index, it was same like a list, slicing. So by default it could be the 0. So by default it could be the 1. So that 2 to 5, what are the elements we have it, those elements we can access in case of list dicing. Any difference as of now? No difference. Guys, do you know any difference between the tuple and list previously?
Yes.
What is that?
List is mutable, tuple is immutable.
That's a good assumption. Okay, so tuple is the immutable. What is immutable? Let's discuss now. And list is the mutable. List is what? Mutable. Mutable means the data we can change. Previous data or existing data we can modify. Okay, but in case of tuple, existing data we cannot modify. This is a small difference between the list and tuple. Clear or not? Let's do a small example. I have a variable which we have the 4 elements 4, 5, 6. I want to replace 4 by 50. I want to be replaced with 4 by 50. For example, where the position is 1, it was the 5, right? I want to replace with 50. This time it was changed. Okay, it is changed or it is modified 5 by 50. So you can able to change the existing data, but when in case of tuple data type, we cannot do that. If you do, even we can try it, we will be getting the an error. Okay, we'll be getting the type error. So type error in the sense tuple object does not be supporting the item assignments. Is it clear? Any questions are there? As of now, whatever I explained, is it any questions? So guys, this link, it could be shareable to everyone and you can able to go for accessing this information. Okay. Okay. Sweta, Swati, Shalini, Raju and Ahmad. Is there any questions?
No.
No questions.
No, sir.
Okay. Now, we can do some kind of operations on the list and tuple, which is possible. Okay. For example, we have a list 1, 2, 3, and I have a list 4 comma 5 comma 6, and I want to do that addition of a plus b, then what could be the result? So concatenation of the two lists will happen. That means 1 2 3 4 5 6 we will be getting. If it is the tuple data type, if it is the tuple data type, in case of tuple also we are going to be getting the same thing. Try with the two different data types, list and tuple. Okay, one could be the list, one could be the tuple. Is it possible for addition? It is not possible. You will be getting the type error. We cannot concatenate the tuple and list. So if you want to concatenate the any two things, make sure that those data types, it should be the same. Okay, so for example, I have a list which we have some elements. I want to repeat this element continuously. I want to repeat these elements continuously. Then we can use the multiplication operator. That means 1 2 3, it can be repeated 6 times. In the same way, tuple also can be possible. Tuple also can be possible. For example, if we have a two same data types, if you are multiplying the one data type with one variable with another variable, is it possible? Okay, I have a tuple A and I have the tuple B, and this time what I want to do that I would like to go for multiply the A and B. So A multiplication with B, it is not possible. Okay, only scalar multiplication is possible, only addition is possible, but scalar multiplication is possible, but same variables which is not possible. Okay, yep, can't multiply the sequence by the non-integer type of tuple. That's what. So even list also can be the same thing you will be getting. Okay, meanwhile, if you have two tuples or list, what we can do, we can compare. Okay, so compare in the sense we can use the less than operators, okay, and greater than operators. We can go ahead with the equal to operators and not equal to operators. Everything, every comparison is possible. Okay, these are the comparison operators. A not equal to, okay, this kind of things which is possible. So if and only if all elements of A and B same, then A equal to B can be returns the true, otherwise it can be returns the false. A not equal to B in the sense if you have at least one element is different, then it could be returns the true actually. Okay, less than in the sense first it will be compare the first element of this one and first element of this one. If it is satisfied, okay, if the first one is less than the 4, right, it is true, so that's the reason it was returns the true. For example, in place of 1 it was having the 7. This situation also it was returns the true. Why? Because of in case of first, oh yes, it just go ahead with the first thing only. Okay, so first it can compare the first element and this 4 element. Okay, this situation, this is the 7 which is larger than the this element, so that's the reason I feel it could be smaller, it could be greater, A could be the greater. For example, here it could be the same first elements. If the both first elements are same, then the comparison it will be go for the second one. Okay, here the second element is the 2 and here the second element is 5. So from this 2, which one is the smaller? 2 is the smaller than the 5, right? Which means that A could be the smaller than the B, so that it was returns the true. So this is the way the comparison will be happening. Okay, so element wise comparison, if element 1 in the variable A and element 1 in the variable B, if both are same, then the comparison it will be go for second one. In such a way it will be go for everything. For example, if all elements are same, then what happens in this situation, which is not greater than not less than, so that's the reason this both are returns the false. But if I'm using the less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, it can be returns the true. I hope you clear about this thing. So same thing will happening for the list data type. So I cannot explain each and everything. You have to go for do these things in your own way. Okay, now what I can do, we can do some kind of manipulations on the tuple data type. You might be thinking what kind of manipulations we can do on the tuple. So previous operations which is doing, right, how it is happening, because of internally we have some kind of built-in functions, special methods. those methods are there so that it was executing these operations. Okay, so I want to list that what kind of methods are there inside of the tuple predefined class. So you have the add, contains, del. So these are the special methods. Those are the methods it can be executed automatically. So when we are using corresponding operator. Okay, but you just consider here we have only two methods, count and index. These are the special methods. You don't need to worry about the special methods. Automatically it can be executed. But here we have only two manipulation methods. The first one is the count and second one is the index. Okay, what is the use of the count and what is the use of the index? So count will be used for count the number of elements. I mean one specific element, so many times one particular element is frequently repeated, right? That is the use of the count. For example, I have a list, or else I have a tuple. I'm talking about tuple. Okay, so 3, 4, 5, and I have. So I want to. So here the 4 is repeated 2 times or 3 times. Okay, so I want to find the how many times the 4 is repeated. We can have function is count function, variable name, and followed by the function, and which element you want to be find out number of occurrence of one specific value. That element we can provide, which is repeated the 3 times. That is the use of the count. For example, the element which is not available, then it can be returns the 0. So 400 is not there, right? So that it was returns the 0 over here. Okay, so that is the use of the count. Now we have the index. So you already know that index in string data type, it can be written as the index position. The position usually which is started with 0 and it could be ends with length -1. Okay, so not more than that one, not less than this one. Okay, for example, I have a tuple, and the tuple which is having the 4 elements, 3 elements are there. So if I want to find out the index of 8, what is that? The index of 8, it could be the 1. So if I'm giving the value, it will return the index position. Okay, so only these two operations we can possible. Other than these two operations, we cannot perform anything actually. But when comes to the list data type, which is having the lot of other operators or functions, so it having all the special methods same like a tuple, but we have some kind of manipulation methods. These are the manipulation methods we have it. Okay, append. So append means, so if we have some elements are there, I would like to add the element at last. Okay, that is the use of the append is doing. Append, it is appending the element at last actually. That is the use of the append method. Okay, so for example, and I would like to go for append the 100. So this is the way you would like to go for append the elements into your variable. Okay, so this is the list which we have the 3 elements. The first append which is doing the 10, so that 10 will be adding at last, and the second append which is doing the 100, so that at last which is adding the 100 actually. This is the way append method can work, but this is append method which is not there in tuple, so that we cannot performing the tuple appending. Okay, next one is a clear method. So clear means if you want to clear all of the elements in one shot, then we can use the clear method. Okay, so if I'm using the clear, then all elements could be removed in one shot. So previously we have 3 elements, then you're clearing all elements so that it was empty list. Okay, next one is copy method. So copy means you can able to copy the one element, you can able to copy the elements in A and into another variable. For example, I want to copy the elements from A and I want to be holding into the variable B. Okay, so this is the way the appending can do, copy can do. So when you're copying the elements of A, the elements of B, both are same. Now I have a question here. Guys, I have a question. The question is, instead of using the copy, we can directly do the assignment, right? Here also we are getting the same thing. Then what is the difference between this copy assignment and normal assignment? Tell me anyone. Ahmad, Shalini, and Sweta, Swati, Raju. If you have any idea about it, can you please answer this question?
I think if you do copy, then it creates a space in the memory. So it creates another variable called B, which is exactly like A.
See, what exactly happening here? So this is the A is the one variable, okay? So the variable memory location, for example.
So is it one like reference versus one like the other one like value?
No, both are same only. I just give a small difference. I have the variable A and the variable A which is referencing the memory location of 2000. Okay, within this particular 2000, the data we are holding the list 4, 5, 6. This is my list of A. Okay, within that 2000, the data 4, 5, 6 is holded. When I copy, when I'm using this copy method, what exactly it will do, whatever the data we have in A, the data, it could be replicate to another memory location. Okay, it could be replicate to another memory location. So this another memory location, let me consider 4000. Just assumption it's a 4000. This 4000 memory location, which is pointing this B variable. B is referencing the 4000 memory location. But when it comes to this example, we have already A and which is the 2000 memory location. But when I'm using the B equal to A, that means B also referencing the same memory location. B also pointing the same memory location. This is example for this one. These are the two examples of, okay. I hope you got the difference between the copy and assignment. If you have a question, then what I can do, I can find the memory location of A and memory location of B. If you want to find the memory locations, we can use the ID functions in Python programming language. Let me go over find the ID of A and ID of B. So just consider here, this A memory location, B memory location, absolutely different, right? Okay, same thing. If I'm executing the same thing in second example, by the time the A memory location, B memory locations are same. Okay, now I have a question. If the memory locations are same, then okay, fine, no problem. Memory locations are here the same, here the different. If the memory locations are same or different, then what is the difference? What exactly the difference? If the memory locations are okay, difference only. There could be some kind of different memory location which is holding when I'm using the copy. As of now, that's fine. So what happened if the memory locations are same? Then what happens? For example, I want to do some kind of manipulations in A or B. I want to do that append of A. Okay. So if I'm doing the append of A or append of, for example, 100. Okay. I'm doing the 100. I'm appending the 100 to B. A variable. By the time, is it any changes will be happening in B? Is it any changes will be happening in B? When I'm using the copy, so the changes in B which is not happened. The reason is that both memory locations are different, so that if you're working with one memory space which is not affected for another memory location after you are copied. But in case of assignment operator, because of the memory locations are same, here the memory locations are same. Because of these memory locations are same, if you are changing anything in A, automatically B also can be affected. Clear or not? This is exactly the difference between the append and copy. Okay, but this kind of flexibility which is not there in tuple data type. Ahmad, Raju, Shalini, Sweta, Swati, any question?
In case of view, like copy, in case of view means also it means it is affected by the, it's like a view is like a append,
What view?
copy and view. There are two things, na, copy and view.
No, we don't have any view function. We have only copy function is there.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
The other one is equal to, right? Just equal to.
Yes, the other one is equal to. Just assignment. It's not equal to, it's assigning. Equal to means two assignment.
Assignment, yeah.
It's assignment. Yes. So now, next function. I hope you guys are understood the copy. Now you already know that count. What is the count? How the tuple count is working, in the same way the list count also can be worked. That means one specific element, if it is repeated some number of times, how many times one specific element is repeated, that I want to know that. Then we can able to go for using the count function. Okay, so here the 6 which is repeated 3 times, so that I can able to go for using the count. Nothing to discuss more because of we already know about count function in tuple, right? So let's go for understanding the extent. This is one of the beautiful example and important function as well. Okay, for example, you have a list is 3, 4, 5. I have another list. The list is, for example, 90 and 89 and 100. Okay, now what I want to do that I would like to extend the A with elements of B as well. Okay, so by this time, previously we have 4 elements, but now how many elements are there after we extend of B? So here we have a 4 and here we have a 3. So total 7 elements you have it. Okay, so the B list elements, it could be individual elements in the A variable when I'm using the extend. Same thing, if I use the append, then what happens? Is it same extend and append? Not same. The reason is that here the B which is having the 3 elements, these 3 elements can be as a single element of the list, sublist. It could be the sublist. Okay, so this extend method, append method, both are not same. So if you're appending the list to existing list, the new list, it could be the element for the existing list only. But in case of append, so whatever the existing list elements, it can be added individually element by element at last. Okay, that is the difference between the extend and extend list and append list. Clear or not? So let's go for understanding the index. So we have some elements are there. I would like to go for finding the index. So I want to find the index of 6. It could be the 2. So this is the way index can be worked. Index just return the number of position number of any element in that. Now we have the insert method is there. Okay, insert in the sense we would like to go for insert the one element in one specific location. For example, in between 6 to 7. So the index position of 7, it could be a 2, right? In the position of 2, I would like to insert the, I would like to go for insert the, and I would like to insert the 100 in the position of 2.
So how do I see the syntax as I type? Sometimes it says, right?
So in Jupyter Notebook, automatically it will be getting. So
okay.
the first insert, it could be having the 2 arguments. First argument could be the position where you want to be insert. The second one, the value what you want to be insert. Okay, in the position of 2, already 7 is there. So in the position of 2, now I would like to go for inserting the 100. That's the reason in between 6 and 7, 100 was inserted. Okay, now the position of 100, it could be the 2. Previously the position of 7, it could be the 2. So it was changed to as a 3. Okay, that is the use of the insert is doing. For example, so we have a pop method is there. So pop, it is it can be used for to remove the one specific element in one location. For example, in the position of 2, which is having the 100. Previously, you are inserting the one element in some specific location, right? Now, in some specific location, whatever the element we have it that I want to be remove it. So then we just using the pop method. It's not only returning that value, it can be remove that value from that particular list. So that instead of the 5 elements, which we have only 4 elements after you popped. Okay. And
okay, if I don't know the index of that particular element that we are trying to drop, then what do we? How do we do that?
if you're not providing any index position, it's simply removing the last element. Okay. So make
So
sure that yes, that's what Amar, make sure that you should know the index. If you don't know the index, we can't remove that by blindly. Okay?
There's no way, right? Like, let's say what I'm trying to say, let's say
So
I
make
want
sure
to
that
drop 100.
yes, that's
But
for
I
that
don't know
one.
what is the
For that one, you should know that index. Okay. For example, I want to remove the 8, but I don't know the what is index position of 8. For that one, we have a function is index, right? Okay. Simply you are giving that a dot index. Okay. Then it was simply removing it. Sorry, it was returning the index position. Then it was removing it in the based on index position. But we have a function is remove method is there. So the remove method, if you don't know the index position, but I want to remove the one specific element, then we have the remove method is there. Okay. So when I am using the remove method, it's not go for the indexing. It will be go for in element wise. I hope I clear your doubt. Hello.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
So previously, based on index, if you want to remove it, then we can use the pop method. I don't know the index position, but I want to pop it. You have to know that the index position, then you can pop it with the help of the pop function. Or else we have another method is there, another approach is there. Directly we have a remove method is there. With the help of the remove method, we can able to remove the directly element from this list, existing list. Clear? Okay, for example, if you're not giving the input for the pop, then it will be removing the last element. So let's go for understanding the reverse and sort. Those are the two methods are the last methods. Okay, so for example, I have elements are something like this. Minus 5 and 298. So I have the 5 elements are there. When I use that reverse method, a dot reverse means what? Reverse means the first element becomes the last element is becomes the first element. Okay, second last element could be the second element, element could be the second last element. This is the way the elements can be reversed. And we have a sort method is there. Sort, it will do that arranging the data in ascending format. Okay, you might be thinking I want arranging the data in descending order. Then it was a very simple thing. After you sort, then we can reverse it. This is the way we can descending format. Okay, any questions? So guys, this is about string data type and list data type and tuple data type. As of now, we were done the 3 data types. Total 8 data types we were done. Now, tomorrow's session in the top Python programming language, I would like to talk about the set data type and dictionary data type.
Did we cover list comprehension?
List comprehension I can explain you at by the time of loops.
Okay. Okay.
So if and only if you know the knowledge of the loops, then only it is possible to understand actually. Okay. Okay, that's for today's session, and hopefully you are got each and every point. If not, please let me know. I would like to answer your questions. If you know questions, please let me know that same thing. If no questions, something like this, or else you can use the chat.
I'm good at this moment. So I'll let you know if I
I'm
have
good.
any.
Thank you.
Yep. Take care, guys. Bye. See you.
Thank you.